I'll admit, I was getting a little bored with Farm Sim, but doing this absolutely changed the game. I'm farming the entire map. Welcome to Meadowlands, Wisconsin. Well, hello and welcome to the Stover Farm channel. We're so glad to have you here with us on this beautiful fall afternoon during harvest. You know, we got so focused on building maps in Alma, we forgot that there was a real farm that I actually needed to tend to. But let me ask you this question first. How many of you have gotten a little bored of Farm Sim? It's okay, because I have as well, and I'll tell you what, this map and farming in the way that I'm going to show you here has absolutely changed the way I play the game. Welcome to Meadowlands, Wisconsin. Where is Meadowlands, Wisconsin, and how do you get it? Well, you have to build it. But that's okay, because you can. This is no man's land. It's an all-platform map. It's available from the in-game mod hub by Alien Jim. And I'm farming the entire map. Not just owning the entire map. There's a lot of challenges out there, and I think they're great. But I'm farming the entire map. And there's a very specific difference, because this map comes very basic. There's not a whole lot on it. It's flat ground. Well, not flat ground, but it's terrain with trees and a very, very small farm in the middle over there somewhere, kind of by that lake off in the distance. A lot of folks will start from scratch and then they'll do a series and build up to it. I said, no, I want to take the entire map and turn it into one farm. I want to slow down the way I'm playing the game. I want to increase the amount of time per month. So I'm playing 7-day months. You get an entire Monday through Friday, plus a Saturday and Sunday. And believe it or not, I'm playing at real time. And sometimes that's not enough, because you've got a ton of work when you're actually running a farm with crops and with animals. Now, a little over a month ago, I started building this map, and I got about half of it done. I've actually got a video in a playlist that shows you a farm equipment and tour of Meadowlands, Wisconsin. I had about the left side of the map completed, and I'll show you that after it saves. So everything from like this center meridian line to the left, I had populated. The main farm down here in the lower left, with fields of, varying sizes throughout the middle. Since then, we've gone a little further, and I have created fields throughout the entire map with a fairly large pasture area running up here through the center. And what I'd like to do is take you through what I've done, a map tour, with some equipment, with a look at how this has been created. And we'll do it in 3 steps. The first step will be the main shop area. The second part will be the dealership location plus the sell point. And the third part will be really a field tour showing you all the fields that we have. So what I'm going to do first and foremost, I'm going to drop out of flight mode. For those that don't know what flight mode is, I am using easy dev controls. I'll make a note here. The majority of all the mods that I'm using are available to everyone. I don't think I have any mods that are private. They're all either available through the in-game mod hub for all platforms, or they might have come from a site or an itch.io page, or directly from the modder's Facebook page. And those traditionally are Mac or PC only. But everything on here you can likely find and build yourself. I will make an effort to link the big mods down in the description. But I always say this, if you've got a question about a mod, don't hesitate. Post a question in the comments section. This is the American Shed with Lounge and Workshop by Sandhill Modding, available for all platforms on the in-game mod hub, and it is where I've got most of my equipment. It is a beautiful shed. We really don't discriminate between green or red tractors. We like them both. We've got harvesters that are red. We've got big iron that's green, and it's actually functioning very, very well. I've actually got a demo right now of this thing called the X9 Reaper. It's out in the field. Really, really like it. Here's the main truck that I drive. It's a 2017 Chevrolet Silverado 2500. This is Mac or PC only. I believe I found it on one of the downloadable sites like KingsMods. And the modder was Coastal Modding. At least that's what was attributed to the modder. It's a really nice truck. I like the sound of it. It performs very well, and it's kind of my go-to to drive around. This shop also has a nice storage area, and you've got a lounge with a bathroom and a nice kitchenette. Very nice. Again, all platforms. Over here, this is the metal shed package by JJ at Northwest Mods and Edits. Really nice shop. You can change the colors. You've got lighting. This is cold storage for me. Over here, we've got the planters. We've got some of the seed tenders. We've got some of the trucks. We've got just stuff that we're not likely going to really worry about getting cold because we are in Wisconsin. We are going to get snow, and actually I thought about this not long ago. Because I built this all myself, snow goes everywhere, so we're going to have one heck of a time in the winter. As we move around to the side of the cold storage, just basic liquid storage here with some Meridian bins and some Wesco or Westel Roscoe bins. We're harvesting wheat right now. I actually should have been soybeans, but I made a mistake. I planted wheat early on. It took forever to grow. I have seasons turned off. So we've got wheat coming out. Likely would have been soybeans. This back area is where we've got our silage. You can see the big four-wheel drive John Deere up there. We've got that packed down. We have an episode on this. And everything is just kind of, doing its thing. It's at about 50% fermentation right now. I've got my hub turned off because I think it just performs better sometimes. This is an addition. If you watch the original series on this build, this is the Commodity Shed by Legacy Ag. It's a recent addition. I don't know if it's out yet for all platforms. I found it on Legacy Ag's itch.io page. I love it. It's got collisions right now. I've got some silage. I've got all the hay that we baled this year off the main field. And we're working on getting some straw over here. You'll see I'm square baling straw and round baling hay. Don't ask me why. It's just what we're doing. Over here to this side is really where we've always kept our implements. So it's kind of a two-tiered area. Everything slopes downward. That's the really nice thing about No Man's Land is you're not on a flat map. There is sloping ground. So it, really just is a pleasant environment to be in. Now up top, this is where I'm keeping most of my vehicles that are going to get dirty, nasty. Thinking manure, thinking slurry, trailers. This is 82 Studios 3500. It's just a very small dumper that I pull manure out of the main cow shed. This is a really nice truck. This is not all platforms. This is from Crownzilla. It's a Chevrolet, and it's using... I don't have my it's using interactive controls, but I got my head off, so I can't see the point that I need to touch. But the door's open, the hood opens. It's really, really nice. It holds Slurry. And then I love this. This is from Whiskey Sierra Modding. Again, another Mac or PC only mod, but it is public. All of these are public. A Freightliner cab over. I love these trucks from back in the 80s. It's wearing the Consolidated Freightways graphics on it. Really, really beautiful. Whoops, let's see here. Am I in it? Yeah, I'm in it. No, I'm in the... That's a 6V71 Detroit in that. I want to get in the Freightliner. There we go. Great detail all around. Really, really nice. Again, that's from Whiskey Sierra Modding. Beautiful old Freightliner cab over. Now, we're not done yet. We've added stuff. And, you know, I said early on I was going to try very hard to add stuff slow, and I think I've done it fairly slow. Down this pathway is an area just to store manure, and we've got a slurry pool as well, or a slurry pit, just to get the stinkiness away from the main farm. I can haul it from, you know, either the monoslope freestall down there that you see at the far end of the screen, or from the main cow shed here by the heated shed, and just get that stinky stuff out of here. Now, lastly, one addition to, I guess, the central area of the farm, the main heated shop, the main shop, is we've got an area where we're pulling out dirt and gravel. Just felt like it would be fun. I never did get Terraform to work well on this map. That's not to say there's anything wrong with it. It's just my system with my mods, with my map. I could not get it to work. It's a spectacular mod if you're on Mac or PC and want to run it, where you can actually terraform the land real time in the game. I've kind of had to fake it here a little bit by just, you know, digging out a hole and dumping some dirt and gravel into it, but that's okay. So this is the kind of the main heart of the farm, the heated shop, the cold storage. Oh, I didn't show you this. I did make some changes over here. And I do have my speed boost on because it's just easier to run around. This is where I am holding all of our seed and or fertilizer and herbicides. So really nice shed here. I believe this is by Dense Modding. I don't believe it's for all platforms, although I could very well be wrong on that. I don't think it is because there's a Netflix and chill sign on the TV, but I do know it is available for publicly on his Facebook and or itch.io page. Really nice details in this shop, kind of an area you can work, because we don't have that over in the main heated shop. We just have kind of the kitchenette area. So that's it. This is the heart of it. Oh, you know, we should probably talk about the bins. The bins are all platform bins. I'm running the dry corn add-on mod, and then I've just gone in and added some details of things, some extra bins, just to make it look and feel bigger. And we're currently drying corn. I don't know, we might be out of corn. I might need to add more, but I think we've got close to 5 million liters of capacity here, so we're not going to run out of space anytime soon. Alright, it would probably be bad if I didn't show you the house, because I did make some updates up there. So I'm just going to run around. I'm not in my truck right now. I will probably grab the Silverado as we go into town. But this is the driveway up to the house. It's nicely sculpted. We've got these tiered fields to our right. This contour farming. These, again, were wheat. They should have been soybeans. These are right at about, I think we had 8 acres here. Pulled a little over 1,100 bushels of wheat out. How do I know that? Well, Thundar Modding. I highly recommend you look at some of his mods. He's got a real-time yield monitor that's available. can show you how much yield you're actually pulling into the combine, as well as the amount or the acreage that you are farming. So cool. I'm also using his unit convert, and that takes everything from a metric system to, yeah, you can call it the lazy American system, but it's what I know, and just makes it feel more authentic for an American/US farm. And we rounded that corner there, and you'll see the horse barn has changed a little bit. Where'd this come from? Well, I actually did a video on building this in Alma. I liked it so much after I was done in Alma that I brought it over to the Wisconsin map. And this is showing you that you don't have to wait for a husbandry or anything to come out really for the game. You can make so much stuff yourself by combining mods. And all I've done here is, yeah, I've got some stuttering. I know. It's, I probably need to delete my shader cache and do a flyover and save and all that jazz. I haven't done that in a long time. But I've got this open pasture. This is where you feed and water the horses. You water the horses like they grow like flowers, but you get the idea. And it follows the terrain very nicely. So the fact that the terrain's not flat, that's no big deal. The horses still walk down here, you can see. No issues. And then I added the placeables that I wanted to. This is part of Elk Mountain's mod pack. So again, sorry, it's not all platform, but it is available publicly. This is from KingsMods, and this is all platform. This is a great garage. I love it. Then what else have I got in here? I just put some placeables down, some decorative items to give it a nice feel. This right here is called the Hall with Workshop by Icus. Available for all platforms. It really has that kind of farm, western horse look and feel to it, which I really like. And together, all three of these things make the horse barn, which is nice. And then we'll turn around, we'll head up to the house real fast before we head into town. I made some small changes up here. I am using the Elk Mountain Lodge. I love this map, although I should say I love this house. Although I will say I want more houses. I would love to have some more modern houses, some bigger houses available. Maybe, might be a pipe dream, but that would be really, really cool. And then up here I've just got 3 stall garages. They're just duplicated and mirrored. And then I threw down some concrete and made it, have some nice drainage to make it feel like a pretty up-end house. Again, we've got millions upon millions of dollars into this build. We're fortunate in that regard because we've got easy dev. But I wanted it to feel upscale as well. You can see a little grate. There's just a bit of water flowing down through a small little stream down to the bottom of the hill. You've all seen this house. It's a great house. I won't go in and bore you with that. And then I made this deck on the outside with some decorative items just to look out over the farm. It is absolutely gorgeous. Alright, in the Silverado now. Again, I really like this truck. We'll head out of the main entrance of the farm. You see on the right, again, that's where we had the wheat. We've got the 8410 out there doing some fall tillage. On the left, we just finished cutting corn. Got about 140 bushels an acre out of that field to the left of corn. Very, very bad, or very, very poor yields this year because I didn't do any soil prep. And I think that's really cool, actually, that, again, we're seeing the consequences of that. Oh, I love that view out there. But we're seeing the consequences of poor soil management. Welcome to the entryway to the farm. I'm going to jump out here because this is where I think you might realize we're actually on no man's land. This is where you start in No Man's Land. This is the entryway to our farm, but if you come all the way up here, I've hidden it out of view, thrown in a lot of trees. Back in through here, this is where the building, it's right here. This is where the main shop was for No Man's Land. I hid it out of the way. I didn't want to see it. We turned it into a little power distribution area. I think this was actually the parking area for No Man's Land. And I've actually got a few things that have still spawned over here. Should probably get rid of those. There's the animal dealer. Forgot that we still had an animal dealer. I might actually use that at some point if I want to sell my animals. So I might have to rethink this slightly. But again, this is No Man's Land. And we've got... Yeah, oh, we did not jump that very well. We've got just an old rickety barn here for decoration. But this is the entryway to the farm. One of the key features of this is the divided highway that I built up here. So I just created this because it felt right. This is a divided highway that the county put in, and it kind of gives you an artery from one end of the map to the other. It's also where we've got our main dealership and then a sell point, and then I needed to have some sense of normalcy. So I added a grocery store with a gas station and a place to get coffee. You'll recognize this on the right. We just did a video on this. This is the perfect all-platform dealership that you can build, and I still stand by that. This is basically 2 all-platform mods that we put together. We added some decorative items, and it's a really cool workshop dealership with a showroom. Showroom's actually in this brick warehouse right here. I think it works pretty well. I had the Prairie State dealer pack here, which, again, spectacular mod created by Chandler Buck. But I wanted to have something for all platforms, so we built this not long ago, and I really appreciate everyone that watched and viewed and commented. Then across the street, we've got we got an entryway into a field, because again, we own all these fields. And then we've got our sell point. This is a sell-all point. I don't have a ton or any productions installed on this, but I do have areas that you can buy and sell certain things. This is a garden shop. They own the sell point for all the grain. I can get propane there as well. And this is just a way for me to actually have some sense of realism to sell our items. And then as we come over to the grocery store, you'll see, oh my gosh, all it is 2 S-Marts put together with a coffee shop right here on the left. So yes, we could go in and get some Corgi Cafe coffee through the drive-thru. Make sure you go one way. This is so, I guess, middle America, small town. You've got a grocery store with a coffee shop, a gas station, and there's always some like sketchy van sitting out in one of the last parking spaces. No carts in the cart stalls, but this is where we can, role play getting groceries and food, and just really kind of nice. I like it, and we can also get fuel over there. So all those pumps are active. Oops, flying through the trees. What am I doing? This is a sale point for coffee, but I'm just, again, using it for role play. And then over to the fuel station. Again, just shows you that you can build stuff if you want to. This is not a pre-built gas station. We built this ourselves. There's all elements in here are available in the in-game mod hub. We made it ourselves. So this is the dealer sector plus the market or grocery store area. And I think it turned out fairly well. Back out to the divided highway. This is US 32. And originally it ended right up here. The county never did get funding to finish it out. Well, roleplay, thank you all so much for your comments to them. They finished the build. And all they really did was just put a curve in. But you can see all our fields that are out here. We've got all this land and one small old gas station. I love this gas station. This is from OK Used Mods. I call this Glenn's Station. Glenn is the owner, the modder for OK Used Mods. He has created some really, really important mods for this game, and we thank him for his work. This is Old Albia Road that I just turned on, and this takes you to kind of the back entrance into our farm. And when we get down here, you'll see that this is actually the area where No Man's Land had its one and only field. What are we using it for? Well, I'm using it for pastures. I've got two main pastures or three main pastures up by the heated shop with the freestall barn. And then down here, this is, you can see this is the original field of No Man's Land. I've got a very large 100+ acre pasture that I can move cows into during the summer. And I'll make a note, why am I doing that? Well, I'm trying to be realistic. I've got our beef cattle out in pastures, and I'm feeding them hay, where, realistically they'd just be grazing on grass, we'd get them hay. And then I've got the dairy cattle in the barns, and I'm feeding them grains, total mixed rations. So I want to have a place that I can move the cattle to in the summer and in the winter, depending upon the amount of snow on the ground. And this is a great area for it. So we'll just run out here. This is a 100+ acre pasture that is actually segmented into one large pasture and one smaller pasture. And it has a nice lake, a little water in it. And it's separated because I can put bulls and I can put calves, and I can put males in one, females on the other. I always get my cow nomenclature mixed up. You got bulls and steers, and you've got cows, heifers, calves, and I think that's it. But someone correct me if I'm wrong. I was just in Iowa too on a cow farm. I should have remembered that. But right back here, so cows, females in this one large area, and then if I hop the fence, I've got another separated area that I can just put the male cows in, the bulls and the steers. Again, for just some added realism, this is why the game I mentioned earlier, I was bored with it. I was so bored. You play a map, it's got tons of small farms on it, a ton of productions. You are hurrying to play the game, and what are you doing? Like, you go to sleep, you get up, you do some field work, you feed some animals, you check your productions, you're done. You go back to bed, you wake up, you do it all over again. If you expand your operation to the entire map and you slow down and you actually play the game like a real farmer, it's amazing how much you actually can do in either real time or a slightly accelerated time. While I'm about to pull away, I've got a shop down here. I just keep some very basic equipment in. Tree cutter with a truck. I've got a lawnmower down here and an ATV just to get around. And there's gates everywhere to get into the pastures. So we'll head back out here to US 32. We're going to turn left. This is going to take us out to Blackrock Road. Blackrock Road is the location of probably our largest field. To the right, it's about a 40. Ahead of us is an 80. It's a true 80. It's actually 82 acres. Again, thanks to Thundar's conversions and mods that he's got. A very, very large field. And we'll go ahead and pull in there real fast. Blackrock Road will also take you up to kind of the high plains and into one of our wheat fields. But this is the extreme edge of the actual No Man's Land map. You can't go any further over here. We are fairly far away from the main farm. The basic map, I believe, is and correct me if I'm wrong, but 2 by 2, so 2K by 2K, and we're using all of it. We'll ramp back over here to Blackrock Road. This is going to take you up to the kind of the high plains area. Again, more fields, and I have tried to go in with the elevation and make ditches, make gullies, add plants and trees and fencing just to make it feel realistic. And I think it's turned out fairly well. We are now on the back end of that large pasture again to the left. That's where I can keep the bulls. And this is taking you up. Hey, look, I forgot I've got equipment up here because we're pulling wheat out of this one field. I've got the case out with a bean head on it, or a wheat head. And then I've got a... Oh, is there a plane flying over? Forgot that there are... Yeah, right there's a helicopter flying over. I forgot that Alien Jim's got some interesting sound effects added into the map, including, I think, Sasquatch, who yells like every hour. What are those? You might have been asking. These are teleportation devices, I believe, also by Alien Jim. They're really nice. You can lay them in areas that don't have spawn points, and if you want to get to some place quickly, you just throw those down, go into the map, and you can teleport to them. That is one issue with having a map that you're farming the entire map on. Sometimes it's just fields, and you don't want to have to be running back and forth to the shop area. So we're about halfway done with this field. I didn't actually check the monitors to see what we were doing. I did find the yields. Again, they were abysmal. I think 20 bushels an acre. Just awful. And I don't know the size of this field. We actually increased it, so it's going to be fairly large when all is said and done. And this is just a kind of a contoured area that is rough. It takes you down to, again, some more gates to get you in the pastures. And you might notice these roads we're driving on. Why are they tilled or plowed field? Well, this is a really easy way to add some realism to your map. Because if you make roads like this, and you get a plow out, a very thin plow, and you turn on field creation, you can make these pathways. And when you have that, these are impacted by rain. They're impacted by other mods, like I've got the mod that is real mud installed. So when we get rain, this becomes a mud bath. Things get stuck, trucks get stuck, equipment gets stuck. It's really kind of fun. It's also a really easy way to build some authentic pathways. And you'll notice in the PDA, if I click to it, we'll let it save. Always a good idea to let it save. It's also helpful to show you where your paths are, because you can see all of those little pathways right there are the areas that I've gone in and plowed to make driveways. They also get weeds in them, so you've got to actually maintain them. Again, just other ways to make the game more realistic and more enjoyable so that you're not getting bored by it. So I'm going to just drive in the field here so I'm not breaking my back on that road. Let's head to kind of the last area of the map, and I'll show you where we're currently harvesting corn. And you'll kind of see the expanse of the map, because we're going to take Blackrock Road all the way over to the other side. We're probably running about 90 miles an hour. This is not realistic. But we're going as fast as we can to get over to the other side of the map. Oh boy, we're Dukes of Hazzard through here. All right, we've got corn to our right. Again, we've got that big 80-acre field to our left. There we go. And again, I tried to keep some of the elevation changes through here just to make it more realistic. Alrighty, we're popping up here. And this takes you back over to old US 32. So this is the part of the road that they never completed. So Blackrock turns into US 32, or old 32. And this is back down to where we're currently harvesting corn. We'll pull in here and we'll see what this crew's got going on. And I say crew, it's just me. Again, that's another way to really make the game more enjoyable and spend more time. Do it all yourself. Hire a helper if you need to, but really spend time working the fields, working with the equipment. We've got the Pete out here with the Wilson pace setter on it. And I've got a very, very large Brent cart, 2596, being pulled by a 9R. That's one thing I have needed to do with doing this all yourself, is you have to take advantage of some of the unrealistic capacity mods. Because if you don't, you're going to make one pass and have to then drive all the way back to the cart or drive all the way back to a truck. And I like to also bring, plenty of fuel out with me to refill if needed. If I don't need to use EasyDev for something, I won't use it. So I've got some just portable tanks in the back of this F350. There's actually a portable workbench right there, that blue toolbox. And the brakes are still not good on the F350, but I know he's working on it. So we'll hop out. And this is our demo. This is the X9 Reaper by John Deere. And right now, we've only made a few passes kind of on the headlands, but I'm liking it so far. It's got a beautiful interior. Not a very big head on it. I've tried to make the head a little more realistic, because I just turned off the combine. So this is a Green Systems, the PA 1018A. Again, all platform mods that we've got going on here. And as we close this out, let's just go ahead and take a couple of passes here, cutting some corn. What a beautiful day. We've got a lot of field work to do. We're going to have a ton of grain in the tanks ready to sell when the timing is right. And we've got a ton of other fields we're going to have to plant in the spring and maintain. You can also see, got to take care of weeds because weeds are growing. But I hope you've enjoyed this opportunity to see No Man's Land in what my mind is Wisconsin. Some have said it probably should have chosen a different state, but again, it feels like Wisconsin to me. It could be South Dakota, North Dakota, it could be an Iowa, Missouri. It's Wisconsin to me. And don't forget, you too can make something like this as well. A map like No Man's Land, just some creativity in your mind, the map editor, and some all-platform mods, and you can create the farm of your dreams. And it might just save you from getting super bored with the game. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today. If there was anything you saw that you had questions on, don't hesitate to drop a comment in the comments section. I'll do my very best to get it answered for you. If there are mods that are available to you, I'll try to get those links as well. But remember, most of this stuff is all platform and available on the in-game Mod Hub. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time, right here on the farm with the Stovers.